Hi friends, and welcome back to another episode of TT Reacts. Alrighty, first up, always striving to improve the handstand. So what I like about this person's video here is, as you can see, when she kicks up, she kicks her feet into position. So you're literally kicking one foot. They're literally like in their designated position. And that's based on your core strength. So when she was down on the ground, you could see her pelvis is tucked very, very well in that movement before she kicked up into the handstand. That allowed her to have her feet in the perfect position to hold that handstand up with her core muscles primarily. So I do want people to pay attention to how advanced people are doing their movements, because it really just comes down to the basics. And unfortunately, a lot of people learn backwards, learn the principles and the fundamentals of a handstand backward, that they aren't going to improve on time. Like, they're just gonna learn it a lot slower than what they could if they were following a more structured program, or really just shifting it toward muscle building / skill perfecting. When I relearned how to do handstands as an adult, I had to really pay attention to how I felt and what was actually improving my handstand versus what is everyone else doing that's learning a handstand. And I quickly learned that if you don't engage your muscles, it's just not gonna work. Like, for numerous reasons. First of all, when you're learning something as a skill as a child, you don't really prioritize how to do something safely. Now, being an adult and going to the gym and working out, you know that there are risks involved in that movement. For some reason, unfortunately, a lot of people that are learning this specific skill, they're not going into it with that mindset. They're kind of going into it with the mindset of what a child would assume when they're doing a handstand, which is, let me just do it willy-nilly and hopefully one day it gets good. And that works some of the time, but as an adult specifically, we have to be a lot smarter, because we can't just bounce back the same way that we could when we were 10 and 11 years old. Especially if you're not paying attention to what actually works versus what people tell you works. You have to do different forms, you have to do different workouts in general to know what's going to work best. How to correct underbalance on hill pulls. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. It's horrible. I can't even sugarcoat it. Is that what are they coming up with names for these horrible movements? Hill pull? Your heels never should have been that far back in an arch. Like, your body shouldn't be doing this. So it shouldn't be a movement that we're naming as if it's some sort of workout to go like this. This is a handstand. What you're doing here is not an exercise that's going to benefit this. You get what I'm saying? So I don't like this movement. I don't like that we're putting names on stuff that's not helping anybody, because as you see, when he tried to pull his heels in, it knocked it looked like he's trying to do a perfectly straight handstand. It knocked him down to where he had to use more chest, but even then he couldn't balance it. So yes, just like I was saying, we have to focus more on engaging the proper muscles, because if he would have kicked up the way that the lady prior had kicked up, what the hell was that? If he would have kicked up the way that she did it, we would not be having this issue. It shouldn't be that difficult to get your handstand into a good position. And just in general, I don't like that we're normalizing exercises that encourage an arch in general. So yes, for this man here, never do this again. Do this workout instead, because it's just not serving you. That arch that you have in your back, it can ultimately lead to compressing your kidneys. And also, if you don't have like the back mobility and If your back's just not flexible at all, you can get injured in this movement here because of the extreme arching. So yeah, let's make this a little bit more efficient, and let's stop naming stuff, because if we start naming things that are not beneficial, that are not doing anything for you, other people are going to think that's a thing and they're going to try it too. So let's just stop doing that, because it's not benefiting anybody. It's not even benefiting you. So yeah, let's pursue forward into better workouts. So yes, you do this one, progress to this one, and your final one, you will get your handstand. You don't need to do hill pulls, you don't need to do chest to wall, you don't need to do any of that, because it's not working clearly. Tips for having better balance. Similarly to the last guy, yeah, this movement is just not beneficial. It doesn't even look like your pelvis is tucked. So yes, when you get to the top of the movement, do one leg out at a time so that you can practice individually engaging your core muscles. That's going to make it a little bit easier to, even if you're doing something like this that doesn't work, it's going to help you to know the correct technique to engage your core the fastest, and just engaging it on time so that your handstand does not fall in this way. Because as you can see, this movement that he's doing is very loosey-goosey. It doesn't look very tight. It just looks like he was banking on being able to just balance it. But a handstand is not only balancing upside down, it's actually controlling your body and having full body control and having enough strength to hold your body up for a long period of time. So let's stop treating it as just a balance workout. Let's treat it as like an actual workout, because balance in itself, it requires some strength, but it doesn't require as much strength as a handstand does. A handstand requires a lot, not just balance alone. So if you approach it in that way, thinking, oh, maybe I'll just be able to balance and just like float upside down for a long time. No, it's not, because you're never going to strengthen any muscles. You're just basically going to plateau at some point, because your muscles won't be able to hold you up, because the training that you're doing is just basically, you're relying on luck rather than skill and training and just efficiently practicing for a handstand. You're really just practicing for balance, which you can do other balance workouts like balancing on one foot, balancing, just balance drills in general, improving your balance in other ways that could benefit your handstand. But in terms of the handstand itself, you should be going at it with a strength-focused mindset so that you can improve your muscles, and that will be the last thing you have to worry about, or one less thing that you have to worry about. Because if your strength is holding you back, your handstand cannot progress. Alrighty friends, well that was the last video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will be out with another video soon. Until then, if you'd like your video featured, go ahead and send it to this email right here, and it'll be in an upcoming video. Until then, ciao.